Hey guys, Happy New Year. Welcome to my channel if you've not been here before. If you have been with me before, welcome back. Thanks for coming back to listen to your January 2020 readings. These are for the general collective, so please keep in mind that they may not resonate with everyone, but please, like always, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. I also recommend that if you do know your moon and rising sign, you can listen to those videos as well, as some people may resonate equally, if not more so, than their other placements besides their sun sign. Some people will find little nuggets of wisdom in all three readings, maybe only one, but at any rate, you will know where to apply it. And again, it is for the general collective. I don't know which way these readings are going to go until we get started. Each sign will obviously have a different flavor for the overall month of January. I also wanted to mention that I am having a discount for the month of January on the birth chart astrology consultation readings. They are going to be 20% off for the whole month of January by using the code BIRTHCHART at checkout, and birth chart's one word. If you do utilize the code, you don't have to actually book the reading for the month of January. You just have to purchase it in January, but you can always book it out a little further in advance. As long as you purchase it in January, you will receive the discount. It will expire on midnight, January 31st. All right. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for all of your love and support. If you do like these videos, please subscribe by clicking the link below, and be sure to share and comment. And also visit my website and sign up for my newsletter, lisasalvatore.com. Again, the links are below to my Instagram and my Facebook and all of that. Let's get started. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your January 2020 reading. This is a reading for the general collective for Scorpio sun, moon, and or rising. Please keep in mind that if you do know your moon and rising sign, please listen to those as well, because some people tend to resonate more equally, if not more so, than their other placements. So let's just get started, Scorpio. What do we have for you for January 2020? Solitude is the word that I'm getting right off the bat for you, Scorpio. January is going to be like a hermity month for you, definitely. It's going to be all about harnessing your power and keeping your energy in check, like emotionally, let's just say. So you're going to be feeling really emotional, but you're also at the same time going to be feeling closed off, and it's probably better off that you stay that way in hermit mode for January, because it does feel like it feels like a battle of wills for yourself in January. Like there's things that you're going to want to say, there's actions that you're going to want to take, but it's like you should keep it in the mental realm for January and not really plan to. I say plan because sometimes things obviously happen, but you don't want to plan to push forward, because right now it's more like an incubation period for you. Keep seeing just like a solitary month, not in a bad way, just by choice more so. Like just not really wanting to be around a lot of people, and you probably shouldn't be, because your energy could feel, it just feels like your energy is going to be a little more internal. That's how it's meant to be for the month of January. Anyway. All right, Scorpio. Using your power wisely. I'm also getting victory, so something that's been plaguing you for a while, you're going to have resolution to it, and an outcome that you're going to be happy with. Yeah, so the challenge for you, Scorpio, for January is to not act impulsively, because it's about keeping things close to your chest. It's about Okay. I'm also hearing loose lips sink ships. So there's an element here of a person coming to you. It does feel feminine. It feels like a feminine energy. Somebody coming to you and confiding something of great significance. This might have already actually happened. So if it has happened already, just take it as advice. But if it hasn't happened, it's coming up in January. But there's something about you being in a position of like, not authority, but almost like being the trusted advisor for somebody, for a female in your feminine energy in your life. Could be somebody you know well, but it doesn't really feel that way. It just feels like somebody you know, acquaintance, but not necessarily somebody close to you. But it looks like they're going to be confiding something deep to you, or they already have. Now, the challenge for you is for some reason, you're going to want to speak about it or talk to somebody else about it or other people, like a small group, and loose lips sink ships. Remember that, because it won't seem like it at the time, like that what you're saying is significant, but it is. So you want to be really, really extra cautious and conscious of what it is that you're repeating from another person. And the best solution to that, I feel, would be just to keep this in mind for the month of January and just really not say much of anything about anybody else's stuff, because it just feels like it could get you into trouble later on. And this is one of those situations that you might not think is a big deal, but the other party will think it's a big deal. And it's karmic in a way, so it might actually happen anyway, come full circle, because it's a lesson, I feel, that for some Scorpios watching, it needs to be heeded. It needs to be, it's like a Saturn lesson here. Like, even if you're not the type of person that does that, like that repeats anybody's business, let's just say, there's something about this particular situation that it's like a lesson is in there for you, and you want to just be mindful of speaking about another with a group, or even if you don't feel like even if you feel that it's helpful to this person, they're not going to necessarily see it that way. So just so you know, if this has already happened and you're like, oh, whoops, I shouldn't have said that, you'll know what this means. If it hasn't happened yet, it's likely coming up. So just be mindful of what you reveal about another. Yeah, and again, it's past life, it's karmic, so it might actually just take place anyway. And this will ping you later on at the time that you watch this, or, just there's this element of that person then becoming a little bit guarded around you for that reason, like afraid of what you'll repeat. They may not want to say anything. But anyway, it'll blow over in time. But this kind of goes back to what I said in the beginning about not acting impulsively and really just, taking the time in solitary confinement to think things through, to think things over, before actually pushing ahead and maybe acting on anything right now. Now, I also feel like there's a big decision here for some Scorpios that this could even pertain to actually like physically moving, but it's about moving forward and feeling, a little stuck at the moment. But I think February will be a month more of a decision, but I think for January, again, because there is a sense of you needing to process by yourself and to be alone, but there's something here about, having been on the fence about a decision for a little while and knowing that things need to move forward, but not really sure how or which way to do that. This could apply to several different areas. It feels very general. So this could even be like 3 or 4 different situations in your life are feeling stagnant, and you're like just kind of choosing to take the position of wait and see at the moment. But eventually, you're going to have to take some action to move things forward. There's a lot of confusion. That's what I feel. There's a lot of confusion. And some of you also are dealing with inheritances, I feel, either of yours or someone else's in your energy field. So this is like about dealing with finances and inheritances, legacies, things like that. But there is a sense of putting financials in order here for yourself or for someone else. Like either they're passing them down to you, there's a changing of hands that's taking place. Could just be like a revision of a will. It doesn't necessarily, I don't see or feel like physical death or anything like that. It just feels like putting things in order, I want to say. That could also be one of the decisions you've been on the fence about, but it is going to have to move forward. So that is coming up also. And I also feel like for some of you, you could be shouldering the burden of another person. Like there's a little bit of animosity between you and another. It could be family, to be honest, that feels a little stressful, like you're kind of just carrying their stuff on your back as well. So you've got your own stuff that you're dealing with, but then you've got their stuff as well. It could feel a little frustrating. again, the challenge is going to be to not lose it, to just really keep things, close to your chest. It's better off that way. You don't want to speak out of turn this month. Also, I'm going to mention that January is a highly emotionally charged month. Like, not everybody will feel it that way, but most people will. So I just suggest, when in doubt, don't. Just look at it that way. When in doubt, don't. Also knowing that when the fruit is ripe for you to let things go, and then when it's smart for you to offer kindness or help or motivation, or there's something about not always feeling like you have to rectify or rush in and be the knight in shining armor for anybody else. Like the people, I feel like there's a couple situations in your life, Scorpio, it could even be with family too, that feels like sometimes people have to rescue themselves. You can't rush in with the solution all the time. And even if it feels like maybe these people or person in your life wants that, the reality is it's their karmic. Think of it this way. You're interrupting their karma by rushing in all the time with a solution. So I don't know who that's for, but if that pings you, then you know what I'm talking about. This could be for 1 or 2, 3 even different situations in your life where it's like, okay, but my way is better, or why don't you just do this, because I think that this could really work out well for you. And you know what? You do have smart advice and insight, and you're probably right in certain circumstances, but this person or these people need to figure it out on their own. And again, there's something about the knight in shining armor, like wanting to rush in and save people or the person. And while that's great, it's like intuitively you already know that this is happening. And it's like I just keep getting like, don't interrupt their karma. Let them learn their lessons, and you continue to learn your own, because you do still have some picking up on a lot of Saturn stuff here. So I don't know if whoever's watching, if you are familiar with astrology, or even if you're not, you might want to look to your Saturn, because it feels like this is a karmic lesson for you within yourself, but also within how you are interacting with others. So that's what I get with that. The truth will set you free, but only when it's asked for. It's important that I say that. So again, shine your light. Continue to shine your light. Worry about putting your own self in balance for the month of January. Mind, body, soul. Not, just take care of yourself. Do what's going to free you, but free you, not at the expense of another person or people. It's important. I don't know why, for whoever, this has to be a big deal, because it just keeps feeling like an interruption of karma. Like I need to say that, like, don't interrupt their karma and try to rush in and save the day. Okay. Also, for some of you, there's clarity surrounding a business endeavor that may have began last June. So June of 2019, this past year, June of 2019, something began that you're just now for the month, not yet, the month of January, somewhere in the middle of the month, I feel like you'll have clarity and things will be able to move forward. So there's like a project or something that you started or you were manifesting back in June of last year, and it's been dormant, but it's going to push forward in January, or at the very least the idea, the vision is going to become more clear. So it's like all of a sudden it's going to charge ahead, and you're going to have clarity about it. I also feel like a lot of you are having sleepless nights over a partnership in your life, or the idea of the partnership, like the connection. So it's like you're laying down in your bed and you can't go to sleep, and they say when we lay down at night, obviously it's dark, everything comes to light in our minds and our heart. So this is for you literally, like lately it's been more so that way. Like you're laying down at night, you've been really busy during the day, and then you lay down at night and it's like your body's tired, but your mind is keeping you awake, and you're thinking about this other person, this connection. And just for those that this applies to, it is reciprocal. It does feel like it's a bond. It does feel like it's highly mutual and beneficial. I feel like for a lot of you, this is someone that this is an earth sign connection, like feels Taurus based to me, or it doesn't mean they have to be the opposite party or you have to be a Taurus, but it could just be like a strong Taurus influence, an earth influence, or at least if that's how they act. It could be a business contact too, because it's earth. It could be a business contact. But however, there's a flow of emotion between you and this other person. It does feel like it's opposite sex. So it's a flow of emotion between the two of you. You are not imagining it. The connection is real, and I do feel like it's keeping both of you up at night, and eventually it will be expressed in a very, like, it's gonna sound funny, but in a very childish manner, like cute, like childish and cute. I feel like the month of March will be significant for this, so but again, resist the need to take charge of it, resist the need to take control of it, let it unfold on its own volition, let it be natural. I do get the sense of third-party involvement, which means it doesn't mean it has to be like an affair situation. That's not necessarily how I'm seeing it. But third-party involvement, meaning like there's some reason, there's an outside force or influence that's keeping this from reaching its full potential at the moment. But there is an abundance attached to it. And in its ripe time, it will feel less conflicted and it will be able to move forward. That's how I see this. So for those of you that are involved in that situation, I would say May through August are significant months for movement. March, you might see glimmers of that. But in the meanwhile, you need to, again, there's solitary confinement is what I feel like, taking just care of your own way, your own things, your own attitudes, your own hopes, your own fears. You're tending to your own inner worlds, because for a lot of you, you haven't really been doing that so much, even if you think you have. It's more like worried about others, how others are going to receive something, but it's really about pushing the focus back onto yourself now and looking at your own Saturn. I keep getting that, sorry. The January is a big month for this, for the inner work for you, and not putting it in the outside. Okay. And then your foundations are much more stable going forward. So yeah, I feel like March and April, basically March on, Scorpio, is when there will be action. Not quite yet. All right. Just going to use my quantum oracle deck just to see what else we get here for you, Scorpio, for the month of January. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we have, look at this. We have your energy, fear, consciousness, optimism, events, great achievement. Yeah, wow. Okay. So, all right. This is how I'm taking this for you, Scorpio. A lot of your, so there is definitely a fear energy here, a fear of trying to control outcomes because you're afraid that they may not work out the way you intuitively know that they will or expect them to because of things that have happened to you in the past. So there's this sense of like, well, on a conscious level, you're very well aware of the way that things are going, but on the unconscious level, there's like a fear. Again, I'm going to your Saturn, past life fear that needs to be dealt with, about like looking forward to something and not having it happen, or thinking something's going to happen and it does, but in a completely different way that rocks you. Or this is past life I'm talking about, unconscious, not necessarily the reality. But then the reality at the end of the day is that you're manifesting this abundant future for yourself, and there's great achievement at the end of that. But it's important that you don't try to control it and rushing in like the knight in shining armor. I don't know why I keep getting that image. If you're male or female, doesn't matter. It's the same concept. So just trusting, and don't be afraid that if you don't stay on top of it, or if you don't do the work, even though on a level you have to put in effort in everything you do to keep things afloat, absolutely. Remember, Scorpio is a fixed sign, so you're getting things are at a certain level. You're meant to keep them there at the moment and pull the focus back to yourself for the month of January, and you will see that there will be a good emergence happening, a more positive emergence happening in the months coming up without you having to force the hand of it. So be receptive right now. Don't be too active, too aggressive. Just kind of leave things the way that they are. Resist the urge to be impulsive. And keep things level. Keep things the way that they are. Tend to the inner world in January. Honor the hermit solitude that I'm feeling you're going to be experiencing. The emotions that are coming up, especially around middle of the month. I feel like, for a lot of Scorpios, there's heavy, intense emotional time. Past things coming up for clearing and healing. So that's what I'm getting for you, Scorpio. I hope that this made sense. Things do feel really good for you coming forward into 2020. I feel like there's going to be a lot of positive achievements, a lot of positive recognition, a lot of positive events that are going to move forward faster once we get through almost through the first half of 2020. So stay positive. This looks really good. I will be back for you in February with your 2020 reading. Take good care of yourselves.